Hi guys. Hello Yash. I hope you're doing good, and I hope everyone who's going to be joining the session is doing fantastic. Hello Braj. Okay, so hi Sushmit and Amisha and Sebastian. Welcome to the class. So it's amazing to see you guys out here. Today, what we're going to be doing, or primarily what these things are all about, these sessions are all about, the JEE Bytes, which we posted last time. So welcome to the guys. Welcome to the session, every one of you. A very warm welcome from Meritnation's side. Okay, so what primarily we're going to be discussing is, we'll be talking about the questions which appeared in JEE earlier, right? So primarily what I've done, I've taken questions from last 8 to 10 years, you may say that ways. And I'll be discussing questions on different topics based on those particular questions. That's what the scenario would be primarily. Okay. And still, one good news, I hope all of you already know about it. One good news is that this time JEE Mains is happening twice a year. Are you aware of that? I hope you are. The dates, if at all you can confirm. First is on January. It's in the month of January from 6th to 20th. And then April, 6th to 20th, right? Very nice. Very nice. Most of us are aware of that. That's amazing. That's amazing. So fine enough. So these are the dates. Get prepared. And NEET, you would be confirmed by the NEET faculties meet. You need to wait for that. The registration for January session starts from September. And for April, September SEP. And I believe for the April bit, it starts from December, if I'm not wrong. No, Pradeep, no such session for SAT. Okay, so let's get started without wasting any time. This will be approximately 20 to 25 minutes session. So what we're going to be doing is, we'll be talking about particular questions. And the topic for the day would be quadratic equations. Yes, Ayush. We have a lot of questions today. So I'll start from a very simple question today, which is out here. If at all you want to attempt it, probably go ahead and attempt it. And on top of it, if you can give me an idea about, what would be the way to attempt it, that'll be amazing. It's okay, CB. We all know that it's conducted by NTA. It will be conducted by NTA. So it's fine. As of now, the focus is something else. We'll be discussing questions which are primarily the part of previous year JEE, so that you can get an idea that where do what is the level of JEE in terms of, if I talk about mains primarily. Primarily, the questions would be from mains itself. 11th students, the role will simply be to, what can the 11th student play? Okay, so look, if you're talking specifically about SAT, in that case, the story is different. But talking about JEE preparation, 11th is a very vital class wherein you can stay focused, try and practice as much as possible to help yourself improve in this particular subject, which is maths per se, right? We'll talk about those things later in the session. As of now, let's talk about this. Yes, guys, can you tell me, the question over here says what? It says, sum of all real values of x that satisfy this equation is what? Right? No, Pradeep, that's not being planned yet. So yes, we have already done one session based on that. So yes, most likely. Though you may say that the session might be a bit, or the paper might be a bit difficult. Anyways, let's get started with the particular question which is there on board. Guys, can you tell me? Okay, so most of us are saying so. Ajay, if I may ask, a to the power b is equal to 1. Over here, when could this be possible? Ayush says D. And I've given you enough time to solve this question. At least you would have solved it. Is this 11th chapter? Nishant, I don't know which chapter is it though. Take log on both the sides. Come on, I hope this is a very simple bit. Very good, Gaurav. So over here, one thing which all of us can see that this can be true, this can be true in particularly three conditions. See, three conditions. What three conditions? If b is equal to 0, given that a is not equal to 0, this will be true, right? If b is 0, anything to the power 0 is equal to 1. We know that. We know that. If a is equal to 1 over a is equal to 1, over here b is any number. So I would say b belongs to any real number, right? So in this case, again, you can say that the answer will shortly be 1. Lastly, what we can say is this is the case which people tend to forget. This is very important. When a is negative and b is even, right? Priya, this was a question, this was the condition being given to you, and asking this could be true when. So these are the three cases when this particular equation would be true. When b is 0, but a is not 0, 0 to the power 0 is not defined. And a is equal to 1, b can be anything, and a is equal to -1. When b is even, in that case, this equation will give me a 1 as the answer. Okay, this is quadratic equations, Priya. So let me solve this question for you guys. See, if I see this question, so just choose a better color. See, over here, the question is x square minus 5x plus 5. Again, the same type. X square minus 5x plus 5. X square minus 5x plus 5 to the power x square plus 4x minus 60. Minus 60 is equal to 1. So you know that this can be equal to 0. This can, equal to 1. This particular equation could be equal to 1. Everyone, now stay focused because this is simple. Yeah, last one is very, very important. So three situations, as I already told you. Situation number 1, when this power turns out to be equal to 0, when this is equal to 0, when this is equal to 0, right? And the given part, the base, is not equal to 0. This is not equal to 0. This shouldn't be equal to 0. Anyways, so this is the first condition which we're going to be talking about. The second condition which we can see over here would be the second condition, which I wrote was when this base is equal to 1, when this base is equal to 1, right? In that case, the power could be anything, any number. And when the last case is something which people tend to forget, and you would get an incorrect result if you're going to be doing that. Answer is 6. Okay, let's have a look whether the answer is 6 or something else. Let's have a look. X square minus 5x plus 5 is equal to -1. Here, the important condition out here is that x square plus 4x minus 60, this must be even. This is an important condition, right? So let's solve for each of them one by one. For the first one, we all know that we can factorize it very simply. X plus 10, x minus 6 is equal to 0. So this gives me x is equal to -10 comma 6, right? Answer is 3. Okay. Okay. X is equal to -10 comma 6. Now we should check ideally whether this equation is equal to 0, at x is equal to -10 or 6 or not. That's something which you should check. So over here we can say, look, basically if you solve this, if you figure out the discriminant out here is not a perfect square. In fact, that is b square minus 4ac is these 5, right? That is not a perfect square. So in that case, you can't get integer roots. So you know -10 and 6 will not or cannot give me this equation equal to 0. So these are the conditions that will be taken into consideration. Our solution or solution of the equation, right? Then we'll talk about the second, your equation. So if I solve this, this is somewhat like this, which can be written as x minus 4, x minus 1 is equal to 0. That implies x is equal to 1 comma 4. These two solutions. Over here, the power could be anything. It doesn't matter. So 1 and 4 both are accepted. These are also the solution of the equation. Right, and then the last one. Right, for the last one, we're going to be saying, if I talk about this, let's see. So over here, this turns out to be x squared minus 5x plus 5 plus 6 is equal to 0. If I take this negative 1 on the other side. And then if I solve it, it'll be very, very simple. X minus 3, 3 to the 6, we know that, is equal to 0. So that gives me x is equal to 2 comma 3. But over here, the ultimate condition out here is that we won't accept these two until we check whether 2 and 3 are giving me this power as an even number or not, right? Now you can play smartly, a bit smartly over here as well. You can say, look, let's see, Ayush. And over here, we know that this is even. For this to be even, this has to be even. This has to be even. That implies we'll not consider 3. Why? Because 3 is giving me, this will give x squared plus 4x minus 60 as even. Sorry, as odd, right? Because odd plus even will be not even. I hope all of us are absolutely clear with it. Yeah. So basically, the final solution to it is values for x. Values of x that satisfy the equation are what? Minus 10, 6, 1, 4, and 2. The question was talking about, the question was not talking about these values. The question was talking about the sum of the real values, the sum of these values of x. Therefore, you're going to be saying that the sum is 3, which is the answer to the question. I hope all of us are clear with it. So it's kind of not a very tough question, simple one, which sort of appeared in mains. But still, one important bit out here was the third condition, which you need to consider, right? Or else you're going to goof up. Or else you're going to goof up. Okay, so the correct answer for the question over here is 3. Okay, ready for the next question, guys, everyone? Let's see. This is the next question which I have on board. JEE Mains 2005. An interesting question. In fact, this question also appeared exactly same question appeared with the same equation. In fact, appeared in 2011 as well, I believe so. Okay, Pradeep, we'll see if I can do SAT related J or SAT bytes as well, right? Yes, Himanshu, otherwise the answer would have been 1. Okay, so if I talk about this, JEE Mains 2015, give it a shot. What to do? How to begin the question with? Any idea? For all such questions, what can we do? Let alpha and beta be the roots of the equation given to us. And over here, an is being defined as alpha to the power n minus beta to the power n, where n is greater than or equal to 1. And find the value of this expression which is given to us. Kritika, you just missed a question. You can always see the recordings, right? It'll be available on YouTube. Okay, so look, for all such questions, remember one thing, and that's something which is important. That is, you should always check the roots by you should always check the equation by putting in the roots in the equation. Can you probably manipulate the equation to get something of this sort or not, right? Alpha and beta satisfies them, so plug them into the equation. Very good, Prakar, very good. Kapil, the question is there on board. I hope it's visible. I hope it's entirely visible. So there is an equation given to us, then one quick equation given to us. There are basically 2 methods to solve this question. In fact, there could be more than 2 methods. But anyways, let's have a look. So I'll just do it over here. See, x squared minus 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. You know alpha and beta are the roots of this equation. So they must satisfy the equation. Alpha and beta are the roots. So they must satisfy the equation. Okay, anyways, that's one method which I'll come down to. I'll just quickly go through this. The way you would have thought about it at the very first place. So over here, what we can see is we know alpha plus beta is equal to 6 minus b by a, and alpha into beta is equal to -2, right? Which is c by a. Everyone knows about it, right? Yes, Aman, that's one way to solve the question. Anyways, so idhar dekhte hain. Let's have a look. So what we can say is over here, we've been given a10 minus twice of a8 divided by twice of a9. This is what we need to calculate. This is what we need to calculate, right? A10 from this equation would seem to be alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10. Yes or no? Minus twice of alpha to the power 8 minus beta to the power 8. I've just replaced the values of n out here. Nothing more than that. Minus beta to the power, sorry, this was 9. So alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9. Absolutely amazing. Now, one quick observation, which if at all you can do, would be amazing. What is that? I hope all of us can see this very clearly, that this alpha into beta is -2, right? Which we can see over here also, -2. So if I just replace this value alpha beta out here, right? Let's see what we're going to get. So in my opinion, we're going to be getting alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10 plus alpha beta, alpha to the power 8 minus beta to the power 8 divided by twice of alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9. Rajat, what I'm saying is I'm replacing the value -2 as alpha beta out here. This -2 has been replaced by alpha beta out here. I hope it is clear to all of us. Ayush, we can talk about, I'll talk about that method also, Ayush. Just have a look, have a feel of this method also. Look, people, and this is important for you to understand, that at times, what clicks to you determines the way you're going to be proceeding to solve a question, right? So if at all this clicks to you, you can proceed with the question the way I'm telling you. If at all solving with the help of the equation clicks to you, a to the power 8 or something like that, in that case, you can go ahead with that method, right? So I'll probably be discussing both of them. So over here, this is something which all of us have probably determined. If I multiply it or open this up, so this would turn out to be alpha to the power 10. Himanshu, which part you are asking for? Minus beta to the power 10 plus alpha to the power 9 times beta. Just opened up the bracket, alpha times beta to the power 9 divided by twice of alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9, right? Akash, going absolutely slowly. Okay, now if you see this and this, if I combine these two and take, and that's why I'm marking everything properly. So let me choose a different color, let's say this. And if I take this and this out here and I separate it, right? And I separate it, what will we get? I can take alpha to the power 9 common from the first two. Let me just choose the same color. Maybe that'll be more convenient for you to understand. Just a moment, I'll repeat these steps. So I'll get something like this, minus. If I take negative beta to the power 9 common, I'll have alpha plus beta divided by twice of alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9. Okay, so what did I do? See, Tiger and all the others, see, over here, what did we do? I had this equation out here, right? I've written alpha plus beta and alpha minus beta is equal to. This is something which we all know. Sum of the roots is minus b by a, and the product of the root is c by a, right? And we've been given this equation, a10 minus 2 a8 upon 2a9, right? This is a9. So based on the given expression, we can say that this will be nothing but something like this. This will be a10 will be alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10, as an is alpha to the power n minus beta to the power n. So over here, this turns out to be alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10. And then -2 times alpha to the power 8 minus beta to the power 8, right? And then we're going to get something like this. Over here, if you take alpha plus beta common, and then I've just manipulated it. I've replaced the value of alpha -2 by alpha beta out here. So -2 is being replaced by alpha beta out here. Tiger, I hope it is clear to you. Thereafter, I've taken common from these two and these two, and then I can take common as alpha beta. Alpha beta can be taken as a common. So what we're going to be left with So let me just do it over here. That'll be most likely clear to all of us, right? So alpha beta, if being taken as a common, now most of us have the answer also. That is amazing. Twice of alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9. So this and this gets cancelled out. Basically, the answer is 6 upon 2, which is 3. Why 6 upon 2? Because alpha plus beta was already 1. Oh, sorry, 6. Yes, Chaitanya. It's a very famous question. I hope all of us are absolutely clear with it. That the answer to the question would be, sorry, not 6, 3. C bar. Okay. So this is one way of seeing such a question. There could be more ways of seeing such a question. Let's just quickly go through one more way, which will surely be applicable in most of the cases when the question is of this type. What is that case? Just listen to it carefully. It's a quick and a simple one. So just quickly go through that. Look, the equation being given to us was x square minus 6x minus 2. X square minus 6x minus 2 is equal to 0. Right? And alpha and beta were the roots of the equation. Alpha and beta were the roots of the equation. Okay. So if alpha and beta are the roots of the equation, therefore we can say alpha square minus 6 alpha minus 2 is equal to 0 will be true. And on top of it, beta square minus 6 beta minus 2 will also be equal to 0. Right? From here, what we can see is that alpha square is 6 alpha plus 2. And similarly, beta square can be written as 6 beta plus 2. Now the question was asking for this value out here, this value, right? Which is alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10. So we want to get alpha to the power 10. So we'll multiply alpha to the power 8 on both the sides to get alpha to the power 10 out here. And similarly, beta to the power 8 on both the sides to get beta to the power 10 on the right hand side. This method, this could also be a way to think about this question. So over here, what we get is alpha to the power 10 is equal to 6 times alpha to the power 9 plus twice of alpha to the power 8 if I open the bracket. And this similarly turns out to be 6 times beta to the power 9 plus twice of beta to the power 8. Most of us would be absolutely clear with it. Let's say this is equation 1 and this is equation 2. If I subtract both the equations, let me write it like this, 1 minus 2. So it'll be alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10. Alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10 is equal to 6 times alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9 plus twice of alpha to the power 8 minus beta to the power 8. Okay. Further, what we can do is we can write it like this. Most of us would have visualized that basically what or how can we get the answer from this. So this is something which we can write very easily. Very easily. I've transposed this on the other side. That is it. And then I can transpose this a to the power 9, a to the power alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9 over here to the denominator, which will give me alpha to the power 10 minus beta to the power 10 minus twice of alpha to the power 8 minus beta to the power 8 divided by alpha to the power 9 minus beta to the power 9 is equal to 6. Now what we had 2 over here. If you remember, we have 2 over here. So we can pull a 2 from here, or we can divide both the sides by 2 if you want to say that way. So basically over here you can place a 2, and over here you can write this as 3. So this is also a way to get down to the answer of such a question, right? So it can be different ways to solve a question. It's your way of seeing the question, which will be defined by the way you practice. Right? If you practice decently, you will be able to get through these questions very easily. Prashant, we're discussing quadratic equations. Okay, one more question for you guys. This is JEE Mains 2007. Amazing question. Amazing question. Not very difficult, but yes, if at all you move to a different track, it turns out to be a bit tricky. Okay. Can you see a quadratic equation in the given equation? In this expansion, can you see a quadratic equation out here? The question says, if for a positive integer n, the quadratic equation this is equal to 10n has 2 consecutive integral solutions, then n is equal to what? It's okay. This seems to be a quadratic equation. If you're going to expand these brackets, isn't it? If you expand each of these brackets, each of these terms, you would get a quadratic equation. X squared would be the degree of the equation. Yeah, So, hi Sujay. Let's have a look. So basically over here, let me just write down this equation out here. It was x times x plus 1 plus x plus 1 times x plus 2 and so on till what? X plus n minus 1. There's a bar out here that stands for, there is a bracket, x plus n, right? This is what the equation is. This is basically a quadratic equation. So this has two roots which are consecutive integers, consecutive integral solutions. That's being given to us, consecutive integral solutions. I hope you can see that, consecutive integral solutions. So it has consecutive integral solutions, which implies if alpha and beta are the roots, so therefore alpha minus beta is equal to 1. If I take the mod of it, the difference of the roots is equal to 1. This was the key to answer. This is something which you need to, this is something which should strike to you to solve this question. So we would be seeking for alpha minus beta primarily, right? Yes, judgment. Any problem? Judgment, pride, or bread. So let's have a look. Over here, so if I expand this, it'll be x square plus x. This is x square plus 3x plus 1 times 2. The next bracket, the next term, x square plus 5x plus 2 times 3, right? And this will go on up till x square plus 2n minus 1 times x plus n minus 1 into n. I hope this is particularly clear to all of us. This is what the equation was. This was equal to 10n. So this will be equal to 10n. Right? The solution is integer solutions which are consecutive to each other. Therefore, the difference in the roots must be equal to 1. So we'll primarily figure out what is the corresponding quadratic equation, and thereafter we'll figure out the answer. We'll say, okay, this is sort of simple. If I collect all the x squared terms, how many brackets are there, by the way? How many total x squared terms are there? Total x squared terms. There are n. I think so. Most of us can see that. This, and this, right? So nx squared plus, if I collect the terms of x, Nisha, see, I've just expanded these brackets. This will be the next bracket from here. This will be the bracket out here. That's it, right? Just open up the bracket, that's it, right? And then if I collect all the x terms, it'll be x plus 3x plus 5x and so on up till 2n minus 1 times x, 2n minus 1 times x, plus the third bracket, which will be the bracket of constant, will be 1 into 2 plus 2 into 3 plus 3 into 4 and so on up till n minus 1 times n. This is given to us as 10n. I hope this is also okay with all of us. This is what the equation is primarily. Now what we need to do is we just need to solve this equation to get down to our difference of roots. So let's quickly do it. It's a simple question from now onwards. If you figured this out, it's a simple question. Now, I hope all of us can visualize that this is an arithmetic progression. The formula to calculate or the sum of odd integers, you may say the sum of odd integers is n square, you know about it. Or if you can see that this is basically an AP, so you can say that this is nothing but n by 2 into first term plus last term, x plus n minus 1 times x. I'm doing it the way probably few of us would think about doing this question as. Now, this is a miscellaneous sequence. This is a miscellaneous sequence. If you know the final result, which is n into n square minus 1 by 3, you can apply it directly, or else you will write it like this is sigma times n minus 1 times n, which is given to us as 10, right? We'll take a general term and we'll expand it, straight and simple, right? So over here, we're gonna get nx squared, and this turns out to be, if I open up the bracket, this turns out to be x and x gets cancelled out, 2 gets cancelled out. This is n squared. As I told you, the sum of odd terms is basically n squared. Plus, over here we'll get sigma n squared minus n. I hope this is fine with all of us. Okay. So few of us are maintaining, or please, if possible, maintain the decorum. Navneet, if not, it's okay. You have your choice of leaving the session. It's your call. N square x plus, over here, sigma n square will be what? Sigma n square is n into n plus 1 to n plus 1 by 6 minus n into n plus 1 by 2. This is 10n, right? So Amisha, third step, I've just collected all the x's and all the, so this is basically, I've collected all the x squares, right? And so on. Over here, I've collected all the x. Right? And the last bit is, which is giving me all the constants. So I hope one more would come from here. I hope it's clear now. And then I'm applying the formula. That's it. So over here, I can take n common. That'll be just removed. X plus nx, in fact. Plus over here, n plus 1 upon 3 can be taken as common. And you're going to get 2n plus 1 upon, sorry, n plus 1 by 2. You can't take 3 common. 3 minus this turns out to be just 1 is equal to 10n. Right. So take 3 over there, 3 over here. 1 minus 3 gives me minus 2. We can take 2 common. It'll be n minus 1 for this bracket. 2 into 2n minus 1. So that'll get cancelled out. So I'm just writing everything directly. N and n gets cancelled out from here. So it is x squared minus nx plus n plus 1 upon 2 times twice of n minus 1 upon 3. Right? Okay. Look, try to see it the way I'm telling you. This is the formula. This is the formula which you need to know if you've solved miscellaneous sequence. It's kind of simple thereafter. So this turns out to be n squared minus n upon 3, the last term. And this is x squared minus nx is equal to 10. Now, in my opinion, for this will be a session which will be done every time, every day, same time, right? Okay, in my opinion, you should know this directly, guys. You should know this directly. From here, you should directly know that this is n into n squared minus 1 by 3. So you can directly put this over here and utilize it precisely. This is just previous year question discussion, science and tech, right? So over here, it will be x squared plus nx plus nx plus n squared minus 1 minus 30 upon 3 is equal to 0. If I've taken that 10 on the other side, right? I do not have much space. I'll just do it over. Next board, and then I'll just solve it. So now I can just take the LCM and make the equation simpler. Plus n squared minus 31 upon 3 is equal to 0. In fact, that's also not required. Minus 31 is equal to 0. Now, what we know is alpha minus beta is equal to 1. This is something which I told you in the beginning of the class. Now, remember one thing. Alpha minus beta is alpha minus beta whole square is d upon a squared. This is something which you can remember and apply directly if you want. However, how did we get down to this? By this simple relationship. Okay. Deadly gamer. Okay. Alpha minus beta whole square is equal to alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. Alpha plus beta is known to us already from the equation. That is negative n whole squared minus alpha into beta is known to us, n square minus 31 upon 3. This question was a little bit time consuming, but yes, if you know the formulas, and if you can directly utilize them, this would be pretty simple. Alpha minus beta was given to us as 1. Alpha minus beta was given to us as 1. Right, mod of that precisely. So what we can say is 1 is equal to n square minus 4 times n square minus 31 upon 3. Right, and then you can just solve this question. As soon as you're going to solve, you will get the value of ns. Solve this equation. You'll get n square as 121, which will give you the value of n as 11. So I hope all of us are clear with it. The answer to the question would be D. Sebastian, in that case, you have to start with class 11th, right? Okay. One last question from my end is this, guys. One last question from my end. So primarily, we're going to be discussing few questions on the previous year, from the previous year JEE papers only. But most likely, we'll try and cover as many questions as possible. Most likely, we'll try and cover as many questions as possible. But let's see how if the time allows, I can stretch the session afterwards as well. So Tasneem, look, n square. This is alpha plus beta, Tasneem. Alpha plus beta. I hope you can see this from the equation. If this is the equation, alpha plus beta is equal to minus n, and alpha into beta is equal to n square minus 31 upon 3. I've just replaced the values. That's it. Minus n whole square is minus n into minus n, which is n squared. Okay, last question of the day, guys. If the equations this and this have common roots, then a is to b is to c is what? What do you think the answer to the question would be? Very good, Tasneem. One is to 2 is to 3a, and this is quite simple. Look, such questions also appear in JEE, so JEE mains especially. So you can probably boost your confidence after solving these questions. Okay, so over here, what we can see is that the discriminant out here, which is b square minus 4ac, b square minus 4ac, that is negative, right? That is negative. If this is negative, that implies roots are what? Complex. And this implies, by the logic, we know that whenever the roots are complex, they appear in conjugate pairs. They appear in conjugate pair, right? Thereafter, you're going to be saying if they appear in conjugate pair, so if one root is common, the other root must also be common. Both the roots must be the same. Right? If both the roots are same, that implies these two equations are identical equations. And if the equations are identical, therefore the ratio of the coefficients will be the same. So 1 upon, or a upon 1, you may say a upon 1 is equal to b upon 2 is equal to c upon 3, which if I say is equal to lambda, therefore we can say a is equal to lambda, b is equal to 2 lambda, and c is equal to some 3 lambda. Hence a is to b is to c can be seen as 1 is to 2 is to 3. The correct answer to the question is A. I hope most of us are clear with it. Okay. So that's all for the day, guys. That's all for the day. This is what I basically wanted to tell you. So if you want to know more about it, you can probably use this URL. You can use this URL to log in to, see that how we can probably help you in boosting up your preparation, sort of. But anyways, I hope all of us are clear with the questions which we have discussed so far. And on top of it, I must say, practice is something that is important. Tasneem, you can have a view on the recording. You will be able to understand everything, or else next time, whenever I'll come, you can get in touch with me, right? Okay, so now these sessions will be done. These test sessions will be done every day, same time, every day, same time, right? But the subjects will be different. First, we'll have maths, then probably tomorrow we have physics. That's true. Tomorrow we have physics for the same time. You can come and enjoy and see few questions which appeared in JEE previous years, right? So that you can get an idea that where does the level reach up to. All right, guys. I remember most of you guys, don't worry. Okay. Ayush, look, in JEE, almost everything is important, but still, if you're asking, look, calculus is important. That's really, really, really important. 3D and vectors are also sort of important topics which people tend to mix, and they are kind of easy if I talk about JEE mains. So focus on these chapters especially. Okay. So fine enough, guys. Thank you very much. We'll probably meet next day after tomorrow, or maybe on Saturday. Tomorrow we have a session on physics. I hope you're going to enjoy that session as well, and I hope you enjoyed this session as well. So signing off from here. Thank you very much for your time and patience. Enjoy your day. Good day and bye, guys. See ya.